Stop everything. Stop scrolling. Stop thinking. Stop pretending you understand. Because right now, I'm about to tell you something that will shake your soul. You've been living your life thinking you hear God, but here's the truth. You've been misreading his message your entire life. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every delay, you've been seeing it all wrong. And until you get this right, your blessings, your purpose, and your breakthrough will stay just out of reach. Today, that ends. Are you ready to see the truth that will change everything? Listen to me very carefully. This is not a video for people who want comfort. This is for the ones who are tired of waiting, tired of praying, tired of hoping for miracles that never come. God has been speaking to you all along, but here's the problem. You've been reading his messages upside down, backwards, and completely wrong. You thought struggles were punishment. You thought delays were rejection. You thought miracles were only for other people. That's the lie you've been believing. Here's the reality. God's message has always been there, but you've been missing it. And because of that, your life hasn't moved the way it could. But today, everything changes. Today, you're going to see what God has been trying to show you all along. If you open your heart, pay attention, and listen closely, this one truth will change the way you see yourself, your life, and God. Your life is about to wake up, and nothing will ever be the same again. Let me tell you something that will change the way you see your life forever. Most people think that if God is speaking to them, it has to be dramatic. They imagine fireworks, lightning bolts, or some impossible to miss miracle. They wait for something huge, something so obvious that they can't ignore it. And while they wait for that big flashy moment, the real message slips past them. They miss it every single time because they are looking for the wrong signs. The truth is, God rarely speaks in ways that make noise. He rarely shouts. His messages are often subtle. They are hidden in the small moments you almost overlook. He speaks in ways that require attention, awareness, and patience. And that is why so many people feel lost, confused, or unheard. They are too busy expecting the loud, dramatic signs, and they completely miss the whispers that are shaping their destiny. Think about your own life. How many times have you prayed for guidance, for clarity, for a breakthrough, and then walked away frustrated because nothing seemed to happen? How many times have you asked God for a sign only to ignore it when it came in a form that wasn't flashy or dramatic? That's the problem. God's messages are precise. They are targeted. They are perfectly designed for you, but you have to notice them. You have to be awake. You have to open your eyes to the small, subtle signs that are right in front of you every single day. God speaks through ordinary things. He speaks through a word someone says that hits you at the right time. He speaks through a song that comes on when you are struggling. He speaks through a book opening to a page that gives you the answer you didn't even know you were looking for. He speaks through people crossing your path unexpectedly, through events that seem random, through opportunities disguised as challenges. And most people never notice it. They live their entire lives thinking God is silent, when in reality, they are just not paying attention. Let me be very clear. These subtle messages are not weak. They are not small. They are powerful. They are precise. They are designed to guide you in the most effective way possible. But here's the problem. You have to slow down. You have to stop rushing through life. You have to stop looking for what you expect and start noticing what is actually there. The whispers, the small nudges, the little hints. They are all around you, but if you are blind to them, you will keep missing the direction that could change everything. You might be thinking, but I have been paying attention. I've been praying. I've been asking for answers. The truth is you have been looking in the wrong places. You have been waiting for a thunderclap, for a miracle that looks exactly how you imagined it, for a sign that fits your expectations. And while you were waiting, God was already speaking through subtlety. He was already giving you the guidance you needed through ordinary moments, quiet words, small decisions, and unseen opportunities. You just didn't recognize it. Most people live their entire lives waiting for the dramatic moment, missing the ordinary miracles happening every single day. They miss the doors God opens because they were expecting fireworks. They miss the lessons God is teaching because they were expecting a lecture. They miss the guidance God is giving because they were expecting a spotlight. But those who succeed, those who walk on purpose, those who find their breakthrough, They are the ones who notice the whispers. They are the ones who act on the small signs. They are the ones who see God in the ordinary, the subtle and the hidden. The signs, the whispers, the quiet guidance. This is where God works the most powerfully. The small, subtle moments, if recognized and acted upon, can transform your life in ways the loudest, flashiest miracles never could. But you have to pay attention. You have to be awake. You have to slow down. You have to open your eyes, your ears, and your heart to the subtle ways God is speaking to you every single day. These quiet moments carry wisdom, opportunity, and power beyond anything you could imagine. I want you to really feel this. God is not silent. God is not distant. He is not absent. He is speaking to you constantly. And the signs are all around you. They are disguised as ordinary moments, hidden in plain sight. They are subtle, quiet, precise, and life-changing if you notice them. They separate the people who live ordinary lives from the people who walk in their purpose. They are the difference between being stuck and breaking through, between surviving and thriving, between living and truly being alive. And here is the reality that most people will never understand. God doesn't need to shout to get your attention. The quiet moments, the subtle signs, the whispers, they are the most powerful tools you will ever receive. They are what shape destinies. They are what lead ordinary people to extraordinary lives. The moment you start noticing them, listening to them, and acting on them, everything begins to change. I need you to hear me very carefully because this is one of the hardest truths most people refuse to see. When life gets hard, when everything seems to fall apart, when doors close in your face, when dreams feel like they are slipping through your fingers, most people immediately assume it's punishment. They think God is angry or that somehow they are cursed. They think, why me? Why am I failing? Why is this happening to me? And because they believe that lie, they allow it to shape their life, their mindset, and their future. But here's the reality. Struggles are not punishment. Pain is not rejection. Every failure, every heartbreak, every disappointment is not God turning his back on you. Every struggle is a message. Every hardship is a lesson. Every challenge is a step in your preparation. God uses difficulties to teach you, to mold you, and to make you stronger. But if you look at struggle the wrong way, if you see it as punishment instead of a lesson, you will never learn. You will never grow. You will never reach the life that God has been preparing for you. Think about the people who have achieved greatness. Do you really think they got there without struggle? Do you really think their lives were easy, their path smooth, their journey comfortable? No. Every successful person you admire, every person who changed the world faced challenges, setbacks, and failures that could have broken them. But they didn't see those moments as punishment. They saw them as lessons. They saw them as fuel. They saw them as opportunities to grow stronger, smarter, and more prepared. They saw them as messages from God saying, get ready, your breakthrough is coming, but you must be ready to receive it. Now, I want you to think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you prayed for something and it didn't happen? How many times have you worked hard and still faced failure? How many times has life knocked you down and left you feeling like you're not good enough, like you're unlucky, like God doesn't care? Most people stay in that place for years, trapped in disappointment, anger, or self-doubt. They take every struggle personally and they allow it to define them. They think it's punishment, and that belief keeps them stuck, keeps them powerless, keeps them from walking into the light that is waiting for them. I need you to understand this. Every struggle, every hardship, every challenge is intentionally placed in your life. God is not punishing you. He is preparing you. Every failure is a teacher. Every setback is a lesson. Every disappointment is a guide. He's shaping you, molding you, building your character, and equipping you for what is coming next. The problem is, most people are too busy feeling sorry for themselves to read the lesson. They are too focused on the pain to see the purpose. They are too distracted by the struggle to recognize the message. But I want you to see it differently. I want you to understand that the very things you've been resisting, complaining about, or fearing are actually the very things God is using to prepare you for your destiny. Every challenge, no matter how painful, is a teacher. Every obstacle is a test. Every delay is a preparation. And the moment you start seeing your struggles this way, your perspective changes, your attitude changes, your energy changes, your life begins to shift. Let me be real with you. The people who give up when life gets hard, the people who quit because they think God is punishing them, will never reach their full potential. But the people who embrace their struggles, who learn from every failure, who grow stronger from every heartbreak, who keep moving forward despite the pain, those are the people who step into greatness. Those are the people who finally see their prayers answered. Those are the people who finally walk into the destiny God has been preparing for them. Your struggles are not obstacles meant to stop you. They are messages meant to guide you. They are not punishments meant to break you. They are lessons meant to build you. They are not setbacks meant to destroy your dreams. They are preparation for your breakthrough. And the moment you start embracing that truth, the moment you stop seeing life as punishment and start seeing it as preparation, everything begins to change. Your mindset shifts. Your faith strengthens. Your purpose becomes clear. Your vision becomes sharp. And suddenly the things that once seemed impossible start to appear one by one in ways you never imagined. You must understand this deeply. Every challenge you face is intentional. Every struggle has a reason. Every hardship carries a message. God is speaking to you through it. He is shaping you, building you, testing you, preparing you for the life, the purpose, and the blessings He wants to give you. And the moment you start paying attention, the moment you read the message hidden in the struggle, your life begins to transform. The pain becomes your teacher. The hardship becomes your guide. The struggle becomes your roadmap, and your destiny becomes clear. I want you to listen very carefully, because this is where most people miss their life. Most people are waiting. They are waiting for the perfect moment. They are waiting for everything to line up perfectly before they take action. They are waiting for the stars to align, for the universe to approve, for God to send them the perfect sign. And while they are waiting, life keeps moving. Opportunities come and go. Doors close without warning. Moments pass by and they remain stuck, thinking that the timing is not right. Here's the truth. Perfect timing is a myth. Life does not wait for you to feel ready. God does not wait for you to have everything figured out. The timing is now. The moment is now. What you have today is enough. Who you are today is enough. Where you are today is enough. Waiting for everything to be perfect is the same as standing still. And standing still never leads to progress. Standing still never leads to growth. Standing still never leads to your breakthrough. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start when I'm ready, or I'll wait until things are easier? How many times have you held back because you were scared, because you didn't feel prepared, because the timing didn't feel right? And while you waited, life continued without you. Someone else took that chance. Someone else grabbed that opportunity. Someone else stepped into the life you were meant to live. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Waiting for it is fear disguised as patience. Waiting for it is doubt disguised as faith. I want you to feel this deep inside. God gives you what you need in the moment He gives it. He gives you strength. He gives you courage. He gives you wisdom. He gives you the resources, but it is your responsibility to act. Waiting for the perfect conditions is not faith. It is hesitation. Waiting for everything to line up is not trust. It is fear. God's message is always in the movement. God's plan unfolds in action. The moment you start, the timing becomes perfect. The moment you step, the doors appear. The moment you move forward, guidance comes. Every successful person you admire, every person who achieved greatness did not wait for perfect timing. They acted even in uncertainty. They moved forward even when the path was unclear. They started even when they felt scared. They began even when they didn't feel fully prepared. And the moment they acted, timing became perfect. Opportunities open, guidance arrived, breakthroughs happen. That is how God's plan works. Now look at your own life. How many times have you stayed still, waiting for more money, more knowledge, more connections, more confidence? How many times have you said, I'll start next week, or I'll wait until I feel ready? And while you waited, nothing changed. Every moment you hesitated, opportunities passed by. Every time you delay, life moves forward without you. Waiting for perfect timing is the enemy of your destiny. Understand this deeply. God's timing is always now. He does not wait for the calendar to match. He He does not wait for the conditions to be ideal. He gives you what you need when you need it. He gives you guidance. He gives you courage. He gives you talent. He gives you the push. But it is your job to act. If you start today, momentum will create perfect timing. If you step forward, doors will open. If you move, the plan will unfold. Waiting is wasted time. Action is power. Movement is alignment. Most people misunderstand this completely. They think patience means waiting. They think faith means standing still. They think obedience means doing nothing until everything is perfect. That is wrong. True patience is moving forward when the moment is given, taking action even when you feel afraid, starting even when you are unprepared. True faith is saying, I don't have all the answers, but I will step forward anyway. True obedience is listening to God and acting immediately, without hesitation, without delay, without waiting for the perfect scenario. The reality is this: your life will never change if you wait for the perfect moment. The only way your life moves forward is if you start where you are with what you have right now. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. Stop doubting. Start moving. Start acting. Start believing. Every step you take now is part of God's plan. Every action you take now is part of your breakthrough. Every decision you make now shapes your destiny. And here is the key. The moment you stop waiting, the moment you step forward, the moment you take action, that is when the timing becomes perfect. That is when doors begin to open. That is when the life you dreamed of starts to unfold. Waiting is wasted time. Action is power. Movement is alignment. God's plan always works through those who move, not those who wait. I need you to pay attention right now, because this is one of the most important truths that most people never fully understand. So many people say they have faith. They say they trust God. They say they believe in his plan. But when you look at their life, you see no movement. You see no steps being taken. You see no action. And let me tell you something that might hurt to hear, but it's the truth. Faith without action is empty. Faith without movement is powerless. Faith without effort is meaningless. You can pray all day. You can hope all day. You can talk about your dreams all day. But if you don't do what God is asking you to do, nothing changes. Faith is not a feeling. Faith is not just words. Faith is not just belief. Faith is action. Faith is movement. Faith is stepping forward even when you're afraid. Faith is moving forward even when you don't have all the answers. Faith is taking the next step today, right now, with the resources, the knowledge, the strength, and the guidance God has already given you. God will not move for you if you are not willing to move yourself. God works through those who act, through those who try, through those who refuse to wait for perfect conditions. Think about it. How many people have dreams that never come true? How many people have potential that never becomes reality? How many people talk about changing their lives, about stepping into their purpose, about living the life God designed for them, but they never do it? Why? Because they think faith alone is enough. Because they are waiting for miracles to happen without lifting a finger. Because they hope for results without putting in the work. And the truth is, God honors faith, but not idle faith. He honors active faith. He honors faith that moves. He honors faith that works. I want to be very clear with you. You cannot sit back and expect your life to change by praying alone. You cannot expect doors to open without walking toward them. You cannot expect opportunities to come without preparing yourself to receive them. God's guidance comes, but you have to respond. God's direction comes, but you have to act. God's blessings come, but you have to reach for them. The universe responds to movement. God works with those who move. Faith is the spark. Action is the fire. Without action, your faith is just a thought. Without movement, your belief is just words. Now think about your life. How many times have you prayed for something, hoped for something, believed for something, but didn't do what you were supposed to do to receive it? How many times have you said, God, show me the way, but when the way appeared, you hesitated, you doubted, you did nothing? That gap between faith and action is why most people never step into the life they are meant to live. I want you to feel this deeply. God's message is not just about believing. God's message is about doing. God's message is about responding. God's message is about taking the first step, the next step, the hard step, the scary step. Faith without action is empty. Belief without movement is dead. Prayer without effort is meaningless. God has already given you the tools, the talent, the guidance, and the opportunities. It is your responsibility to act on them. Let me tell you something else that most people don't understand. Action fuels faith. The more you act, the stronger your faith becomes. The more you step out, the more confident you become. The more you move, the more aligned you become with God's plan. Faith is not passive. Faith is alive. Faith grows when you use it. Every time you take a step in the direction God is pointing you, every time you do the thing you are afraid to do, every time you act on the guidance you've been given, your faith grows. It grows because it works. It grows because it proves itself. It grows because it is alive. God will not do for you what you refuse to do for yourself. He will not hand you a life of purpose if you are not willing to step into it. He will not deliver your breakthrough if you are not willing to move toward it. He will not open doors unless you walk through them. Faith is the starting point. Action is the vehicle. Faith without movement is empty. Faith without effort is useless. Faith without obedience is nothing. Now I want you to reflect. Are you just hoping things will happen? Are you just praying and waiting for miracles? Are you just believing but refusing to move? That is why your breakthrough has not come yet. That is why your purpose feels delayed. That is why your life is not changing. God's plan requires movement. God's guidance requires obedience. God's blessings require action. You have to take the steps. Even when it's hard, you have to move forward. Even when it's uncomfortable, you have to act. Even when you are scared, even when you doubt, even when you feel unready. That is what faith looks like in action. That is what God's message demands. That is what will change your life. I need you to hear me loud and clear. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. Start moving. Start acting. Start taking the steps God has given you. The very things you are afraid to do. The very steps you are avoiding, the very actions you feel unready for, that is exactly where your faith grows. That is exactly where your breakthrough lives. That is exactly where your life starts to change. Faith without action is empty, but faith with action is unstoppable. Faith with action is power. Faith with action moves mountains. Faith with action changes everything. Listen to me right now, because this is the moment that can change everything. You've been misreading God's message your entire life. You've been sitting, waiting, hesitating, doubting, and wondering why your life hasn't moved forward. But here's the truth. God's message was never meant to be a whisper you just listen to. It was never meant to be a prayer you only speak. It was never meant to be a hope you only hold. God's message demands action. It demands courage. It demands movement. It demands that you step into your life with faith that works, faith that moves, faith that does not sit idle while your destiny waits. Everything you've been afraid of, everything you've been hiding behind, fear, doubt, excuses, that stops today. Because there is no perfect time. There is no right moment. There is only now. There is only this second, this breath, this heartbeat. Your breakthrough, your purpose, your destiny, they are not waiting for tomorrow. They are waiting for the second you decide to move, to act, to claim what God has already placed in your hands. Most people wait for signs, wait for confirmation, wait for miracles to fall into their laps. But let me tell you something real. The miracle comes through movement. The doors open when you walk through them. The guidance comes when you step forward, even when you're scared, even when you doubt, even when you feel unready. Faith without action is empty. Belief without movement is dead. Waiting without effort is useless. But faith with action, action with courage, belief with relentless effort, that is unstoppable. That is how mountains move. That is how lives transform. That is how destiny is claimed. I want you to feel this deep in your soul. Your life is too valuable to waste on hesitation. Your purpose is too powerful to sit idle. Your dreams are too real to leave them on pause. Stop thinking about what might go wrong. Stop worrying about what you don't have yet. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Step forward. Move. Act with faith. Move with courage. Walk in the power and guidance God has already given you, and watch your life change. Watch the doors open. Watch the plan unfold. Watch your destiny come alive. You were not made to wait. You were not made to watch life pass by. You were made to move. You were made to act. You were made to fight for the life God created for you. This is your wake-up call. This is your moment. Stop misreading God. Stop misunderstanding his message. Stop hesitating. Start moving forward with unstoppable faith. Step into the life you were born to live. Everything changes the moment you act. Everything shifts the moment you step forward. Everything transforms the moment you stop being a spectator in your own life. Your breakthrough is waiting. Your purpose is calling. Your destiny is knocking. The only question is, will you answer? Will you step up? Will you move? Will you act? The time is now. The power is in your hands. The life you were created to live is waiting. And it all begins the second you decide to stop waiting and start stepping.